welcome to this week's edition of Business. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. So today, I'm getting all tongue-tied here. So today we're going to be harvesting honey. Right now I'm going live on our Willie Farms page and also on my YouTube channel. So if y'all get confused, I apologize, whatever. Anyway, so here's my dad. Say hello.
Hello.
He's the guy that we keep the bees over in his yard. We have, how many hives we got this year now?
We've got 5.
5 hives. We had 13. So we've lost some bees. We haven't got as much honey as we wanted to. It happens.
It is what it is.
Yeah, bees are kind of hard to keep alive. If you haven't noticed, well, if you've ever kept them, you'll realize it really quickly. But anyway, so we have some honey. We have our what do we call this here?
Extractor.
Extractor. That's the one. Let me flip this camera around. Boom. Okay, so here's our honey extractor. We've already spun some honey off here, so we'll go ahead and take the lid off and show you all this here. Look at all that beautiful honey down there in the bottom. It's actually, the way this works, we put our frames in here, and we'll show you that here in just a minute. And then it kind of spins it around, and the centrifugal force forces the honey out of the cells and throws it up against these walls here. And then it just kind of drips down to the bottom. And so now once it gets so full, like it is right now, it doesn't look very full, but it's got quite a bit in it. And what happens is, once you start putting in your frames, they'll start dragging in the honey a little bit. So it slows it down, and you're not getting as much out of it, of course. So at this, now we're about to have to go ahead and drain all the honey. And we're actually like straining our honey. We have this, it's not a real big strain or anything. It's just a, what is this called? A sifter? Is that what these are?
Sieve.
A sieve. There you go. So that's what we're going to be using to strain our honey. So we're not trying to get out everything. We're just trying to get out the big pieces of, excuse me, get out the big pieces of wax and things like that. Anything you want to say before we get to it, Dad?
No, I'm ready for honey.
All right. We are really ready for honey. I want to put some of this on some toast in the morning. I always eat honey every morning on my toast. I love it. So we're going to slowly open this. There's a little bit dripping. And then we're going to go just, there we go. Look at all that. So basically, like I said, we're just going to be sifting it through this sieve right here. And it's just going to take out the big chunks of anything that might be in there, any kind of imperfections or whatever. We're not going to, I know some people, they pasteurize their honey. We don't like that. Raw honey tastes way better. So that's the way we like it, personally. I mean, that's just a choice, I guess. Some states may require you to do that. Kentucky is not one of those states, which is where we live, so we're not worried about that whatsoever. But anyway, just kind of enjoy this here dripping. See, this is how it's coming out of the bottom. All nice and delicious looking. Good. I guess you guys probably could do without the commentary, but, you know, I mean, here I am. I'm the entertainment, right? I mean, y'all gotta have something going on. If I just was sitting here in silence, you'd be bored. Maybe. I mean, maybe not. Anyway. Yeah, here we are, getting some honey out of here. Here in a few minutes, we're going to be showing you how we take the frames with all the capped honey on there. We're going to cut off the cappings, and then we're going to put them down inside of this, and we'll show you how it works. We have an old handle that we used to use. We did it by hand pretty much every year we've had this thing up until just like 10 minutes ago, because I decided I didn't want to do that, so I made something work, because that's just how I am. I don't know. Work smarter, not harder, I've always been told, but you know, sometimes you gotta rig things up, and it works great. And it saved us a lot of trouble here. Let's open this up a little more. I don't know how well you can see this here, but there are some fairly good-sized chunks of wax that's falling out of there right now. So those are the things we're trying to keep out of there. Now, once it gets so full, we will have to find a knife or something kind of to move the bottom around just a little bit, just because there's going to be so much of that wax just built up on the bottom of this that it's not going to allow the honey to go through. One of the best reasons to have bees. It's not the only good reason, but it's one of the best in my opinion, because you can eat it, and it's delicious and sweet and golden. And
it's a superfood.
Boom. Yeah, superfood it is. That's true. And it also never spoils, which is really cool. If you ever have honey in your shelf at home or something, and if you bought it from a local beekeeper or something like that, and it's been crystallized or something like that, you can actually heat it up to get it to liquefy, I guess you could call it, or something. Now, you don't want to heat it too much because that will pasteurize it. I mean, it's still good, but
140 degrees.
140 degrees exactly, yeah. It takes a little bit of time, and it'll end up going back to its original liquidy state, and you'll be good to go. Now, you can use it crystallized, but it is I don't know, for some reason it tastes sweeter to me. And I like cooking with it like that. I've got a bunch of it in my cupboard that's all been crystallized, and I've been using it a lot in some caramelized onions I've been making. And man, I tell you what, it's good. I love them caramelized onions. Let's see here. Try to get that to go up to a new spot, maybe it'll drip out a little better. Look at all that honey pouring out of there. Now, this is not all the honey that we have yet. We still have another whole super to go through. Like I said, we didn't really get as much honey as we had hoped to. We had 3 good hives that looked like they were going to produce a lot of honey. Out of those 3 hives, 1 did really well. The other 2 didn't produce much of anything, unfortunately. So, I mean, sometimes bees just don't do what you want them to. I mean, that's just, I guess that's nature. I don't know. Anything you'd like to add, Dad?
No.
He doesn't like talking on the camera. I don't guess I blame him. But, yeah. That's probably pretty close for now, yeah. Then we'll go ahead and start putting some more frames in here. Uh-oh. Can you hold this too? All right. Well, my mom's trying to work 2 cameras at once. Good luck.
That's good.
All right. So there's our bucket of honey that we've got going so far. And I don't know how well you'll be able to see there, but you see that dark line there? That's about how much honey we've got in there so far. And that's about a little less than half of what we actually have, which is going to be great. So here are all the ones we've already done. As you can see, looking through here, we've extracted all this honey out of these. So they're pretty well empty cells now. And so we've got a couple of them right here that we're going to be doing now. There you go. All right. So the way we do this, can you get over here and see that, Mom? Or do you need me to go on the other side? Sorry, we're trying to coordinate 2 cameras at once and doing 2 live videos at once. It's kind of difficult. So basically, the way we do this, they sell these hot knives that you can use, and we have one. We do not like it. It does not do near as good as we thought it was gonna. This knife right here works great. Basically, what you want to do is just keep the edge on the wood, right on here on these frames here, and just run straight down it, and it'll cap it all pretty well evenly, assuming that they built it out past these pieces of wood. Sometimes they don't build it all past that. And then basically you just run your knife down there, open up all those cells. Do the same thing on both sides. Definitely want to try and fold that over as you're going. The weight of it will keep it going. We've experienced in the past, if you don't do that, then it's kind of hard to get them off again without messing up your comb too bad and all that. But you'll see now, these are full. Whoops, sorry. I apologize. Just don't want me to rotate the wrong way. These cells are all full of honey right now. Completely full. All right, so we've got one of them just about ready. So now we're going to take it over here to our extractor, take the lid off. Now you don't want to drip the honey anywhere because, I mean, you know, like I said, that's liquid gold right there. All right, now you have to at an angle just like that. And we're going to do just the opposite with another frame on this side. You do that to help balance it, basically. So for now, we're going to go ahead and put the lid back on here because we don't want any critters getting in there, flies or bees or anything of the such. And we're going to go ahead and do another one.
notice all these are capped. That means honey is ripe. It is ready to harvest.
You know what it was, about 60% of it needs to be done, or is it 80% that needs to be capped before it's ready?
About close to 80%.
Basically, what he means by that is the water, the moisture content in those are low enough that it's ready to go. If you have too much moisture in your honey, whenever you go to do that, if you don't have any of it capped at all, then that will cause a problem. It can actually ferment, which, I mean, some people wouldn't consider to be a bad thing. All right, got to keep it turned the right way. I apologize. But like I said, some people wouldn't consider that a bad thing because that's what they make meat out of. So if you want to ferment your honey, I guess you can harvest it a little early or whatever you want to do. Maybe just buy some yeast and put it in there. What we like eating it on with the toast is what I like doing. I love it on toast or on biscuits. Yeah, either one, they're delicious. Okay, we got the other one ready to go. Now, we'll go ahead and do the same thing the exact opposite way. All right. Like I said, we got these kind of at an angle, the opposite on each one here. And now what we're going to do, grab that handle over there. I'll show them the handle versus what I made. We're going to leave the lid off for just a minute and show you kind of how this works. This is the handle that came with the thing. And like I said, this is a hand crank. You have to do it by hand. It wears you out. So basically, I'm not going to do it real fast, but it's around like this, and the centrifugal force is what's going to force out all that honey from each cells, and it's going to pour it onto the wall here, and then it'll drip down into the bottom, down to where our honey gate is down here, and that's how we ended up draining all this. And you'll see all this that's left over down in here. That's all that wax. We want to get that out of there before we do another batch run through there. But you'll see how much still is in there because all the cappings that are on there. Now, like I said, that's the way you're supposed to do it, I guess.
That's the way it was built.
That's the way it's built, and that's the way you probably need to. I'm not going to advise you to do anything else, but I'm going to show you what I did. So now we have us an electric drill here and a homemade thingamajig. So basically, I took a 1/2-inch piece of copper hard pipe, and I put a small piece of 3/8 or 5/16 or something. No, it wasn't 5/16. What am I saying? It's 3/8. 3/8 copper tubing. This is a softer copper on the bottom, but it's what I had access to. And I just kind of smashed them together, as you can see here. The reason I did the smaller piece is so that it'll fit down inside the drill. And then I just took a hacksaw, cut a notch in there, kind of like the handle had. And you want to make sure and deburr that. You don't want to have little pieces of copper inside your honey. That would not be good. Don't do that. But anyway, so I'm going to
mix well with the butter.
That is right. You do not want to mix the copper with it. Whatever. Anyway. Okay, can you work both cameras at once? All right, so here's what we're going to do. You got that closed, right?
Yes.
All right, so normally, like I said, you'd use this hand crank and just crank it by hand, but heck with that. You make sure you have somebody holding this down. That is very important because otherwise it's going to rock all over the place and go crazy. We're going to start it off real slow, and once it gets going, you notice it's a little bit off center because it just kind of made it out, made it in 5 minutes and called it good. But as you can see the, show the video of all that stuff hitting the wall maybe. I don't know how well they'll be able to see it. You can definitely see the frames flying by. And basically, you just want to run this until you really feel like it's done. Normally, we do it probably close to a minute or something like that, maybe?
Minute and a half.
Something close to that. This isn't an exact science by any means. And again, I mean, you're supposed to be using a handle, but it wears you out after a while, so you decided against that this time. Work smarter, not harder. Keep that in mind, guys. We'll call it good. We'll just kind of let that spin out until it slows down. All right, so now we're going to show you here. This is the side that all the honey is spun out of. So you'll be able to see deep into those cells. Now, on the other side, the inside part here, it's still got all that honey in there. And the reason being is because it only throws it out the outside. Like I said, the centrifugal force pushes it outward. So the ones on the inside are still just pushing into your home.
Yep.
I'm getting honey all over me. I love it. All right, which way do you got down? Yeah. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. So anyway, you want we went into it. So basically, you want to take those and flip them around. Make sure you have the side that still has all the honey facing outward, and then we're going to do the same thing again. Again, using our handy dandy make things easier, my Bob. And honey everywhere. It's a blessing and a curse. It's also a requirement to make sure you have at least one person in the group wearing a hat like this. And that is an absolute requirement. He's just trying to hide his face. Come on, it's just friends, family, and random people watching these videos.
Yeah.
Either everybody you know or people you'll never meet, whatever. And when they start getting really light and all the honey's kind of gone out of there, you'll notice it spins a lot easier and a lot faster. That's how you know it's pretty well good. I'm just going to keep going a little bit longer just to make sure all that honey gets out of there because I don't like wasting it. I like it on my toast, so I don't want to waste a single drop. Store-bought honey is not the same, I promise you. Actually, I've been to some stores where it says on the back that it's not actually honey. So, you kind of got to pay attention to that. Kind of sad when they're faking honey.
Support your local beekeeper.
Yes, local beekeepers are where you need to be supported. One, they're keeping the bees alive. Two, they're providing you with delicious raw honey. And three, their honey tastes so much better. It's real. It's got all the bees are actually collecting pollen and everything from all your local flowers and everything, so it'll help with your allergies. It's supposed to help with sore throat and everything like that. As you can see, you can actually see through there. From one side to the other, basically. Not completely through, but you know what I mean. You can see the light back here. You see my hand back here? That's how you know there's no more honey in there.
And we'll give these back to the bees, and they'll clean it up, and then they'll refill it with honey later.
That's right. All right. So follow us. We're going to go get some more of these frames real quick. We need to take that one out. I'll show you how to do that.
Trying to keep the bees out of it. There's some that's still left in there.
So basically, the way he got it done, you want to show him off is here a battery-powered leaf blower. Check it out, Mom. Come over here. Battery-powered leaf blower. Works pretty good. I like it. But anyway, so basically, you just want to make sure there's no bees around here, which there aren't. But normally, what you do whenever you're trying to get the bees out here, there's a couple different ways that you can get all the bees out. One of which would be to take the hive or the super right here and flip it up on its end, and then you take this leaf blower and you just kind of take it and blow between the frames, up and down, left and right, just trying to get all the bees out of there. There's another way you can do it, which is the way we usually do it. He just got his hands on something really awesome this time, so we took advantage of it. But another way you can do it is using a bee brush, and that's the way we've been doing it the past several years, and it works good. But, you know, if there's an easier way, of course you want to do that. But you have to be real careful when you're doing the bee brush. You don't want to come straight down on it. You'll end up rolling all your bees around in a circle, and you'll make them all nice and mad.
Well, that one's not completed, so we'll probably leave that one.
Yeah, like we said before, you need about 60% or more on those to make sure the moisture content's actually right. Now you can, like I said, you can harvest it if you want to, but it's not, the moisture content in it isn't right, so it may end up fermenting. All right, now we do have some bees down here, I think. Well, maybe not. Okay. All right.
Loose a little bit.
Sort of, kind of. This hive tool, these are really neat. Basically, you take this in right here, you stick down here, and you use it to pry it up. Didn't Kent Williams make that one there?
Kent Williams came up with that design.
Kent Williams, he's a local beekeeper. He's one of the only master beekeepers in Kentucky, and he's the one that actually came up with this design. And it works wonderfully. I love it. All right, so that one's not completely capped either.
No.
But we have one right beside it here. I'll hold on to that one. We got one right beside it that is completely capped.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, get out of there. What the heck? These are bugs you don't want on there.
What was it?
A bug we didn't want in there. Yeah.
Hands starting to cramp.
All right. Sorry, guys. I'm having to move you around a little bit. I got my mom being the cameraman with both cameras, and I mean, I understand how that could be an issue.
Maybe I can hold it.
Oh, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, I got it for a few minutes.
Man, these are just full. That's great.
This is what we like to see. As you can see on here, these are just completely full and completely capped. That's a lot of honey in each one of those.
That is extra large.
Oh, yeah. As you can see here. Here, hold up. Hold that still. No, hold it still. I want to get the side here.
It's oozing.
It is oozing.
You better hurry.
Yeah, go ahead.
It'll be all right.
Yeah.
The bees will get it.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
This and
Whatever we end up not using, we'll end up putting back out there with the bees. And they'll, like my dad said, they'll end up cleaning it up and reusing that honey. Because, I mean, that is a lot of their life's work right there.
now,
That is their entire life's work, I guess.
this one is going to be...
You'll make that into...
I'm going to make comb honey out of it. Just like
Not done on both sides, huh?
I like this
These
one.
are some of the ones that the bees made themselves. We didn't put a frame in there, or we got the frame in there. We didn't have a foundation in there. And you'll see how the bees kind of made that themselves. Sometimes they do a really good job and actually connect it to the bottom. Other times they make it very difficult on you. We've experienced that in the past,
Yes.
and it's not fun.
They don't read the instructions we give them.
For some reason, these wild animals just don't want to do things the proper way. Here's a couple bees that are hanging around here. Oh yeah, no, those are just hive beetles.
All right.
That happens. Hive beetles happen, unfortunately. It's part of life. Beekeeping, I guess. Put all them back in there. All right, so we're gonna go back in here and we'll do some more of it.
Okay.
All right, you got that?
Yeah. I got it.
He's got it. Oh no. Weighs so much. Let me get that door. Let me get the door. Let me get the broken door.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Mom's just out there filming bees now. Hey, you're fine. Mom's having a good old time now. She likes this. All right. Sorry for all the running around, guys. It's kind of how it goes on a live video. Normally, I kind of do things and then stop the filming and everything. Look at all this honey that's coming out of those caps into the bottom. We're going to end up straining that off as well because we don't like wasting honey.
And we'll melt that wax down.
That's right. Beeswax is good for a lot of things. So, anyway, I guess you guys have pretty much seen what we've been doing. I'm going to probably go ahead and cut it off here. Let me flip this camera around. Got it rotated this way. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and consider supporting BS with AJ on Patreon for bigger and better projects. Whatever. I probably messed up, but that's okay. I'll see you next week, guys. Take it easy. Can't figure out how to stop this. I do this on every video. I still don't know how to stop these.